Welcome everyone. Good morning. Welcome back. We have, let's see. Yep, that's fine. I just get this message across my screen here. But glad you're here. Quick reminder before we get into this. This is not financial advice. These are not recommendations. These are simply us documenting our journey, our Q2 AM journey, quarter to a million journey. And we wanted to share our pros, our cons, all kinds of good stuff with you, so you knew what we went through to get to that point. And quarter to a million is $250, turning that into a million by learning to trade Forex. And all of us, the three of us here, are learning. And speaking of learning, first of all, welcome. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
So I killed me, right? I had an alert set for 50.62 on gold, all set to take a buy, and it took forever to get down there, and it was like in the 80s, like the 508 whatever, right? And I'm trying to get it to 5062 to take my buy, and there was another buy alert on gold, which I would still be in, but it was in the 80s instead of the 60s. And I'm like, you know what? My dogs need to go out. I took the dogs out and the alert hit twice while I was out.
Yep.
I was like, oh gosh, I was bumming. So I missed that entry. And right now it's at 50.77 and fluctuating. But I keep watching to see if it'll come back down, hit me one more time, which I'm hoping for. But are either of you guys in a trade right now?
I'm in a buy. I got in at 50.86. I was trying to just take a quick win, take it up to either the 10 or the 20,
Okay.
and jump out. And I was just looking for a quick profit.
Okay. So
Just trying to build
down right now on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Down like $9 right now, but I was just trying to get it up so that I was just trying to build it back up and build a base.
Yeah.
I again too, like over the weekend too, I don't know if you guys saw, but if you checked at 5 p.m. last night, like I've said this before, I'm trading Euro, USD, and gold. Euro, like it's gonna have to fill the gap.
Yeah.
My stop loss was about 8 pips higher than it needed to be.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have had a major profit. So it's just learning. I set it to 2x. I set it to 2x the ATR, and I missed by about 8 pips from when I got in.
That's not a big miss. Like
no.
Wow.
But I mean, this is part of the learning process, and I did nothing wrong. Like it just didn't work out for me. I did it based on our knowledge. I did it based on everything. This isn't me being ignorant to this, unless I wanted to say, if I know it's going, make it even bigger. But I've really never more than 2x my stop loss.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
And I just missed. I just slightly missed. That's all.
The only time I alter from that is if, like, I'll 2x my ATR. That's usually safe, like what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
But if I see a really strong support just below it, structure, and that way I have a better, just a little bit better gap, I guess, or insurance. But yeah, usually 2x ATR.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. So my structure was even more below that. It was down an additional 15455, and it stopped at 15485, and I was 15478. So like actually, sorry, that's my current one. My structure had already been breached. I had no structure below.
Yeah.
And I wasn't wrong, because the base, it turned around, but then it quickly drew back, hit my stop loss, and then went up. But I stopped paying attention because I was doing other things. So I was like, I'm just going to set this. And once it hits and I set the take profit to fill the gap. So I'm like, once it fills the gap, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I just walked away from it. And I'm like, I'm not going to be involved in it. I know this is going to happen. It's just off by 8 pips. So you learn.
You're almost to break even now. I'm watching.
Yeah. And honestly, if I was to do it over, I probably would have done the exact same thing. I don't. I just.
At least you
I
know.
yeah. I mean, I did it right. I did it right based on everything we've been taught. I just got slightly. Just it happens.
You know, one of the cool things about what we're doing here, and I realize this, it's like there are good trades all the time. It's like we don't need crazy stuff happening in the world. We don't need whatever. It's just there's good trades almost always.
Yeah.
It's just finding them and then picking your entry and then your exit, and that's it. Right. So there's never a time that we couldn't, for the most part, make money. Right. I was looking at excuse me, I say that because I missed this gold entry, which ticked me off because literally is a beautiful gold entry where I had my alert set. And I would have done very well. But I took my dogs out. I missed it. Over the weekend, like Friday, I was looking at oil and I'm like, I want to get into oil. The problem was, I'm like, all right, market's going to close. I'm going to be stuck. And if something crazy happens, and even if it goes up, it could still pummel down because so much movement there. I had no idea.
Did you look at futures?
What's that?
Did you look at futures? Oil futures?
No.
They were around 110.
Really?
Yeah, I was very close to pulling that same trigger on Friday.
It was just like, if it ends up anything higher, I don't lose, right? But if it doesn't, then because it was where was it on Friday? My alert's still set, so it's going to go off if gold comes down where I want it to go. But
I think it closed around 90
on Friday.
But it started around like 80.
Oh, I'm on the 4. Let me go to where I was anyways. So I'll go to the day for the moment. Yeah, so on Friday, yeah, it was around 90 where it closed. 90, 92, 91, whatever it was. Actually, I can tell you exactly. It was about 91. So I was like, you know what? And this is midday. This is before it hit 91. It was in the 80s. And I'm like, I really should take this. And I didn't, because I didn't want to get stuck over the weekend and not knowing, right? So because and really the biggest reason for that was what you had said, Mike, happened to you. And that was, even if you have a stop loss in there, it doesn't matter if the markets are closed and it just blows past that stop loss, because the markets are closed. Nothing's happening. So when it opens, especially if there's a gap like that, and it gaps below that stop loss or above that stop loss, whichever direction it's in, you could lose everything. And
there's that big weekend factor when it closes and when it reopens. Yeah.
See, what I was looking at is are the tensions getting, are they getting better? No. Kuwait just said that they're basically killing oil production, as you guys had said, and then
Saudi Arabia's cut back on theirs.
Exactly.
They can't get it to the users.
So while we have what, 800,000 barrels every month coming from Venezuela now, to the U.S. Bottom line is, I expected it to spike significantly this morning, and I heavily, if I had a bigger balance again, and I just didn't, my comfort level wasn't there. It was kind of like the first Patriots Super Bowl. The first Patriots Super Bowl, I'm like, they're gonna cover or they're gonna win. I mean, they're gonna cover or win. There's no way in hell they're losing by this many points. This is the biggest handout. I'm like, people should just walk around handing out money, because I'm like, I would put my house on this. Now, obviously, I don't think I even barely put anything on it. But bottom line is, I was like, that's how confident I am. That's how confident I was this weekend that it was going up. And my thought was, this is why you don't gamble. You're confident in it, but your balance isn't there. And that's because in the past, you haven't done enough to support being able to make this kind of decision. If you want to make this kind of decision and hedge this type of bet, because this is a bit of a bet, because
yeah.
I'm like, you need to probably double or triple your income right now so you can have the peace of mind to take a chance like that and not care if you lose.
Right. Because
And I would have cared.
yeah,
My wife would
well,
have cared.
and I can understand that. So we're at 50.83 right now. So it comes down a bit, but it's moving within certain window. You know, we're not even sharing a screen. I'm going to share my chart here on this one, just because we're talking about this, right? So this is gold. First of all, you can see this yellow dotted line white dotted line there, that's going across here. That's my alert. And it was set just a little bit above where I wanted to get in. I wanted to get in at this mark, which is what I was planning. And that's when I was out with the dogs. So that would have been great, because that would have been, I like being right. And I had this mark before Donnie talked about it earlier too.
Yeah.
So why is this not going?
And I got out at a $3.50 profit minor. I didn't like the one I took. I just wanted a quick profit to help build it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And now I'm just waiting for a better decision.
Wow.
By the way, did you see that oil went to 119.50?
I did.
Yeah.
So let's go to oil for a second, because this is what we're looking at. So this is on the 4 hour.
Yep.
But yeah, at its high was 119. Well, let's see if I can bring this down a little further so you can see it. 119.59.
Yep.
And when I was looking at it, and there's a big gap there too, which is going to have to get filled. But when I was looking at it was Friday, probably about 2 o'clock. It was here, 84 in this range, 82, somewhere in this range.
Yep.
And that's where I was thinking, I should just get into oil.
Yep.
And I sure was right. And it, because it went up there. Now, where would I have set a take profit? Where would I have done a loss, a stop loss? I didn't even figure that part out.
110 for me. That was my number.
110.
Yeah.
Because you saw that on futures.
I was watching the futures and seeing how they were changing and how they were going, and I was also looking at in addition to crude, I was looking at brute as well. And I was just trying to see, like, just trying to get a ballpark idea of what's going on in the region and how that's impacting us and that's impacting the market. And I was pretty confident it was going to 110. At least temporarily. I did not expect 119.50. I'll be fully transparent. That would have been great. But yeah, needless to say, it did what I expected, but I'm kind of kicking myself now for not doing it in paper. I should have at least done it in paper to prove my point.
Yeah. And I considered that. I just didn't.
I just didn't either, but yeah.
But we should have. So we should do that, even if we, like, on a Friday, just to test those things.
Exactly.
I'm not comfortable yet doing things over the weekend like that. I would want to have a much larger balance. And if I was going to do something over the weekend, even with a larger balance, I still have a smaller lot size.
Yeah.
Just because I can't control what happens. Any other time, like, I can get out earlier. I can have a stop loss that I know is going to take effect, but I can't then.
Right.
And that, that would concern me. So, but yeah, oil right now, I mean, we're looking at it here, and it is at 101.54 right now.
Right. Now let's just actually put this into perspective for a second. Less than a month ago, it was in the low 60s, high 50s.
Yeah. Well, you can see it. It was in the 60s range, so 66 down to say, 61.
Yep.
So mid to low 60s, and pretty steady. And then boom, last Sunday, not this Sunday, not yesterday, but last Sunday, boom, it shot up. And it makes sense. But that actually would have been the time to get in. If you look at it, yes, it shot up, came back down. But if we were here, actually on Sunday, once we knew that we were attacking Iran, that
Yeah.
would have been the time to get in, because then, we still would have been, even here, if we got in a high point on, well, let's go back to Monday right here. So, we're still in the 70s. 70s
Yeah.
up to 119 would have been a glorious payday,
Exactly.
no matter what lot size. But so, but it's wild, because that was so predictable, and yet we didn't do it. Why didn't we do it?
And we didn't even do it on paper.
No.
Like, honestly,
good point.
if I'm gonna be honest, it's inexcusable. Like we have the
Thank you.
knowledge.
Yes.
We have the knowledge, and we got to be better. It's that simple.
It was one of those, what was it? What's his name? From The Simpsons, Homer. It's one of those,
Dope. Yeah. No,
You know,
it's
part of it might be that Donnie has always been very telling us to be very cautious with oil.
yeah.
Like, of everything, be most cautious with oil. So maybe that's in the back of our minds a little bit.
Well, I know for me, I was focusing on I'll be 100% transparent with this. I wasn't even thinking about paper on oil. I have been in the past, but this time I was thinking about real money.
Yeah.
And I was focusing on real money and where was I comfortable, and I wasn't comfortable with, because I knew there could be a lot of volatility, mostly up, but there could be an announcement that this company is going to supplement, like the fact that they're redirecting a bunch of the pipelines away from the Strait of Hormuz.
Yep.
Okay, if that information came out at the beginning, and I don't think most people here understand there's multiple infrastructure options to redirect the path, which makes the world of sense that it's configured that way.
Mhm.
But that's game changing. Like, that frees up a lot. Now that's only from specific sources, but I don't know. I mean, is there a lot more redundancy built in? I don't see how there couldn't be, understanding the potential unrest in the region
Right.
and considering the intelligence and the money over there.
Well, there's a ton of intelligence, there's a ton of money, that's for sure. And there's stockpiles, but if you look at where their days are, how many days they have, I mean, I saw something about, some countries having, I don't remember the name of the country, so forgive me there, but it's like 5 days of oil. That's all they had left, because that's all that they were using. I mean, that's they didn't have any real storage. Whereas others are, months out or weeks out. And, in our case, for the most part, we're self-sufficient. So I think we were getting, where we were taking in, I forget, 1.5 million barrels or something, that we were actually importing. But now with the arrangement we have with Venezuela, that's not an issue. We can get what we need. It's just, it's a different crude. It's a heavier crude.
Right.
So, but that's good for Texas refineries. But either way, it's like the U.S. is insulated to an extent
every day.
right? So
Yep.
we're going to have some increase in pricing in gas and stuff like that, but it's not going to be crazy like the rest of the world. Other
Right.
places are going to go through the roof because they can't get the oil now.
Supply and demand.
Exactly. So it's still a good possibility. Now, it was interesting. One of the other things I saw was they had so we are protecting ships going through. So one oil tanker did get through.
Yeah.
The Strait of Hormuz. And was it President Trump says, we need some of these some of these other shipping companies to get some guts.
Yeah.
And I think that was the word he used, which is probably good. But it was,
And he offered the reinsurance too.
yeah, well, and they were setting that up.
Yeah.
Either way, they were going to be covering that, and they'll escort where they need to. So there's no reason that some of these companies shouldn't be going through.
Yeah.
So it's just a question now. What I would project and almost bet is that they're gonna really pummel the section of that strait where there could be drones or anything else that might be close to there.
Yep.
You know, the U.S. and Israel will pummel those areas, so that way there's much less chance of anything coming across and hitting a ship.
Right.
So, but other than that, I think within the week you're going to start to see, for the most part, normal flows. So if that's the case, now that's a longer shot bet than what we had over on the other side over here, right? Because this we could have easily predicted. But if what I just said happens, then that would start to reduce the price somewhat rapidly. And so we should be thinking about a sell.
Yep.
Right. I don't know that I'm there just yet, but
No.
you know, let's see what happens over the next 24, 48. But I think we seriously could. So
I have the complete opposite view. I think very, very few tankers are going to get through there. Are where we think we can escort them. The deep channel is so limited that what I read is 2 ships cannot pass at the same time.
Oh wow.
And go in either direction. It's
just
one direction at a
2
time.
miles at its narrowest point.
Yeah.
2 miles wide.
I understand that, but the deep channel where they can actually travel is much more limited. And it only takes a few tankers to get sunk and stuck there where it's not passable anymore.
No, but that section you're
I
talking
understand.
about, 2 miles.
I don't think that's going to open up. My view is it's not going to open up like you think it will.
And look, you could be right. I didn't just take the sell, did I?
No.
Does anyone have any stock in dredging companies over in the Middle East?
Yeah.
Talk about opportunity.
That's right. That's right. There's going to be something.
Not right away, but as a longer term play.
Right.
Actually, do you see this, by the way? Gold on a 15 minutes about to hit the 200 and hit TP3.
Gold on the what? Oh, you said on the
15 minute. Yeah.
Yeah. For whatever reason, my Einstein was not showing. It's there, but it was not. Oh, now it shows.
There we go.
I don't know what was happening. So
and the 30 is about to bounce off the 66. So let's see if the 30 goes through the 66, which I doubt it. Well, actually, I don't know if it's going
30.
to.
We're at the 200 right now.
No, sorry.
Right. You're on the 30. I'm on the 15.
Yeah. 30-minute time frame. Say, do I want to jump in on that and ride it up to the 200? Is there any reason not to?
Not if you're looking at the RSI. The RSI is saying, "Hey, buy me, buy me."
Yeah.
Where did my? Oh, that's where it went. Okay.
What is that? That is the on a 30. What's right above it? Nothing. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking that.
I already was in.
Just gonna take it up to the 200. And the 200 is at what? 51.32. Let's call it 300. Oh, wrong computer.
So we got 51.30. 51.3. Yeah, so I'm in on that one right now. I'm in a little bit of a drawdown.
Yep.
But
I'm just trying to say I don't see any major restrictions above it. And that's the part that's throwing me off. And that's, I mean, it's already breached the 66. I
Yep.
don't see anything
Mhm.
else above it besides the 66 on the 1 hour at 51193.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got 13 minutes and it is moving down fairly fast, but it can move up just as fast.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I might alter mine to 51193. And if it goes through, it'll jump in again. I like that number better. All right, well, we'll see. This is what I've been doing a lot though. Before I used to like set it and watch it. Now
Yeah.
I just set it and walk away.
Yeah,
I'll just check on it in a few minutes. I'm not emotionally attached. I set the numbers. It's going to happen or not.
So in the 5, it's definitely, the 5 minutes definitely heading down pretty
Down.
hard.
Yeah.
If we look at the 15, it took a pretty good V correction there as well. The 30 is going up. And let's see what's happening. I'm going to watch that lower time frame a little bit more. But definitely like to see that one turn around a little bit.
Yep. And that's where, I mean, it's just, if you, not until you go to the 1 hour and then the 4 hour, is there anything even in its way? And both of them are around 51.18, 51.19. So there's still
Yep.
a good area for a nice little profit there.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll see.
Exactly. We'll see. So, but it is kind of funny just, watching through, seeing, because we're able to predict a lot of things. We still have to be comfortable enough to say, hey, let's take this.
Yep.
And some things are pretty obvious. Some things are simple. Other things not so much.
Yep.
So
And this is one of them ones too, where I mean, there was no structure or anything showing resistance above it. Yes, we got in late and we're kind of riding the trend.
Yeah.
But typically, and this is for me, it's if there's no resistance above it, then it's often going to go up to that point.
Right.
And then it's going to hit it and come back. So right now I'm playing probability based on what I've seen, and it's high probability. So I'm good.
And just take a look at, I was on the 4 hour, but in the 4 hour on gold, let me bring this down to a level we can look at here.
The 20s at 51.18. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got room there, right? And then you've got, a couple of highs, and then I've got structure way up here. Now this structure was from the 1 hour.
Yep.
But, so we've got some room. And then if we look at so that's
1 hour. It's 51.19 on the 66 roughly. So I mean, it's
yeah.
so it's right around the same number.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt.
I mean, even if you go there, we got room for a nice little profit.
Yeah. So I'm holding right now. I've got. Oh, you don't like that?
No. What did it see?
Said a sell on gold.
No. I saw that. I mean, like, what did it see that triggered that?
Oh.
What was that on the 30? 30. Yeah.
This one right here. This was on the 5.
Okay, I don't have a 5-minute alert. I shut it off.
Well, and if you look where it is, I mean, well, it's got TP1 that it's already hit, but it's got TP2 down at the 20.
Yeah, and it's got to get through the 66 and the 200.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not as confident on that one, but I am watching this. I want this to change. So let's see, where's the 15? What are these RSIs doing? It's leveling out a little bit more now. Let's see on the 5. Yeah, 5 is changing direction a little. I get this real lag in my trading view today. I don't know if you're noticing that. Like my RSI is taking forever to kick in.
Yeah, it's yeah, I've had that, and today it is a little bit slower. Me
Yeah.
too.
So I like how it is changing direction, making me happy. I'm still in double-digit drawdown, but I'm there. All right, so yeah, we'll watch that, but definitely expecting to take a little bit of profit on that one. That's all.
Yep.
So the things that I'm watching, obviously, I'm watching gold, and just going back here, really watching gold right now because I'm in the trade, but watching gold, watching, Euro USD. I mean, I charted this earlier. Where's the rest of my chart? Wow, I don't even know what happened. Either way, I'll have to redo that one. So, because it hasn't moved that far. Oh, I was on the 3-minute. So everything would have been different. All right, here. I got to remember that. Let's go here. So on the Euro USD, let's rechart this one because this is one of the ones that we sort of spend a lot more time in.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm not liking this gold deal.
Going back.
Yeah. Now it hasn't hit. I've got a pretty
Yep.
a pretty low stop loss, but I've still got about $16 before I hit my stop loss.
Yep.
In the price of gold. However, I really wanted to turn around.
Yeah.
So we'll get back there. So let's chart this puppy. So right now we know that we've got let's look down here. So this would be a demand zone right down here. And I am on the 1 hour. So there we go. We get this back well set. There we go. And then as far as a supply zone though, we're really looking at
It's up above.
What's that?
It's from the supply zone. The first one I see is from Friday at 2 a.m.
Oh, I got one. Oh, I was looking at 1 o'clock over here on Friday. Or noon. I'm sorry, the noon candle. Is that, are you not seeing that one or?
No, I thought I only counted the supply zone if the candles next to it are heading down. So like if you go to like where there's a green and then because
So we had 3 candles all going up, but this one here, oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah. So if you go back to the left to like Friday at 2 a.m. per second, I'll show you right there.
Yeah.
Right there, one to the left there. I started that green one, and that's my little supply zone. Yep.
Let me fix that line.
And I also marked the high, right? What time is that? Like Friday at 1 p.m. Yep, that's it.
Yep.
Those are my 2 structure points. You know what else I do? It's a little bit different. I mean, other people probably do it as well, but that bottom demand zone, go down lower.
Hey, hold on for 1 second.
Oh, sorry.
I hadn't changed. Okay, go ahead.
That bottom demand zone.
This one right here?
Click on that. And then I'll carry it all the way down to the candle on the left. So
This,
I'd go below that. So I start from the bottom there and I'll go up to the top of the candle on the right, just because they're so close. Rather than have two demand zones, I just make them one.
okay. And that would make sense.
Because they're literally back to back.
That was this gold is hitting. Looking for that turnaround. I've got both screens going on. Actually, the
Yep.
screen that you're on is covered by my trade. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
That I was looking at that instead of you guys, but yeah, I'll make that one a little narrower.
Yeah, and actually Euro USD just bounced off to 66.
On what time frame?
1 hour. So you can see that wick on the green wick.
Yeah.
It just bounced off to 66. Actually, that's a while ago. That's not just. That was like 55 minutes ago, 58 minutes ago.
And potentially longer because it closed down here.
Right. And often, and typically that would indicate, right? Because that candle's engulfing.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd expect this candle here in most cases to at least be bullish.
Yep.
I want to learn more about that. So I've seen that that is the engulfing works a lot of the time, but there are clearly other parameters that you can see. And I wonder, there's got to be some other patterns that say, in addition to the fact that it's engulfing and it leads to this, if you check for A, B, and C, and B and C don't match, then it's probably not going to.
Yeah.
I just don't know enough on that yet, but I assume there's a pattern.
Yeah,
Or
I would
no,
agree.
yeah.
But we've got, and it's, yeah, with everything, there's a pattern. It's just a question of where is that pattern?
Yep.
You know, and by the way, that's one of the cool things. I mean, yes, we've got Einstein, and yes, we're learning how to do this, but having access to the algorithms that they're looking at much longer term patterns. I don't know the factors that they're putting into those algorithms, but whatever those factors are, they're at least the ones that we have access to, they're pretty darn accurate. So I'd love to know what they're tracking. What are they looking at?
Yep.
You know, and I don't know exactly. I don't know if that is something we can get access to. My guess is that's more secretive because they don't want to let that stuff out. You know, and I can't say I blame them, but even if we don't know how that works, it's easy enough just to put money there and let it grow. Gold has started to go a little bit in a more positive direction.
Yeah.
So I'm still down significant double digits, but it's going it's going in the right direction. So let's let that continue. So
quick note on the algorithms, and you've seen the ones we've had and the returns that they're getting and earning, and they're documented because there's independent sources that can verify, you know what they're doing. But yet, people aren't rushing to place their money there, and even though it's in their own brokerage account and they maintain control over it, more than any other, investment vehicle out there that they could, place their money in. People are still stuck on the traditional way.
Yeah.
I think that the difficulty with algo that for a lot of people is the barrier to entry. It's a low bar at $1,000, but a lot of them just threw down $1,000 for the training.
Yep.
I'm talking about I'm interrupting. People that have $100,000 or more in a 401k and just have it stuck in a mutual fund.
Yeah.
And paying the fees on it and having their financial advisor.
Yeah.
Well, and I think you're right, Stephen. But for Michael, as an example, one of the things, and that's one of the things I've been So I'm going to say slowly working on, just because I've been working on so many other things with my companies, is to set up the self-directed IRA and
Yep.
just transfer some of my funds from one of my retirement accounts.
Yep.
And that is an easy way to fund it, because I think Algo Alpha Gold, that's the one that was like over 1,200%.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I haven't seen a 401k, 403b, anything remotely close to that. IRA, nothing that comes anywhere near that realm.
Right. I think though part of the reason for that is a lot of people currently right now have had a person or a team or a company they've been working with for years, people who are in that space.
Right. Yeah.
A-
Yes.
and that's their trusted advisor. So I think in order to break through that, you don't go to the people, you go to the advisor.
Mhm.
And you have the advisor see it and the advisor be like, well, wait a minute. It's a very cost effective and extremely lucrative. Let's throw $5,000, $10,000 at this and see. It says it's, I mean, it's fully documented, like you said. It's
Right.
publicly out there. You can watch everything. You can follow it daily if you want to. It's out there. So it's not, there's no smoke and mirrors or anything like that.
Yeah.
But typically a lot of people aren't first adopters and
Yeah.
don't want to be at the front of the line. Some do, some that's their thing. But a lot of people need to see the results and then they'll dive in. So I think that's the play there, is make sure that to have a bigger impact, we need to go to the trusted advisors who are already making those recommendations, who already have the relationship, and
Yep.
and show them.
Yeah.
But how many of those trusted advisors are not just the fiduciary, but they're earning, the way they earn the most of their money is by, the commission they get by selling a product. And there's no
Bingo.
commission on this for them to have their customers put money into it.
Bingo.
So then why would they advise them to do it?
Well, and that's where, even if you're a fiduciary, there's still, obviously, there's still fiduciaries that still get compensated as well behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
I think you have to go to I don't think it's a masses move, but I know there are people out there that, I mean, if you're trying to build a reputation, and I got 1,200% return from my clients over the last 2 years. Well, it's a good way to start building a reputation. And then you can do whatever you want. But I mean, the opportunity is there. It might just be for people either emerging in the industry or people looking to differentiate themselves who
Mhm.
haven't had a differentiation because they either don't have large cap funds, or not funds. They don't have large cap clients where they have the minimum of like $1 million or $250,000. I know a bunch of people was like, listen, be fully honest with you. I'll make some recommendations. This is years ago. I'm having a conversation with a friend of ours at a bar, and he's like, I'll make some recommendations. He was like, but if you're under $500,000, we're not even talking. And I'm like, that makes sense. He's like, that's not to you. That's like, he's like, I'll let you know what's going on. He's like, but I don't take anyone on. That's not,
Yeah.
if you don't have a minimum $500,000 to hand me. I'm like, that makes
Interesting
sense.
note on that. You're talking about funds. BlackRock actually has a major fund that they restricted withdrawals coming out of it last week.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
also,
And it's,
BlackRock was also buying up a bunch of the electric companies.
yeah, I don't know. You guys
Yes.
read this book?
Yeah, I have it in a room. Yep.
It's pretty good. There's a lot of great stuff, a lot of eye-opening things when you think about money in there.
Yeah.
It's funny because Tony Robbins has done stuff all across the board in development, personal development, but I thought that was a really good one. But even what he's talking about in significant gains still aren't coming close to the algos.
Right. But that's where, I mean, use that book, right? So what did Robbins do there? So Tony took basically the Napoleon Hill approach and
Mhm.
the Andrew Carnegie approach. He went to the greatest. I mean, the people that are interviewed in that book are the who's who. Like it's not, he got some smart guys. No, he got the world who's who, and he got access to them. And then in his follow-up book, where he kind of goes through and just clarifies a few things from that book. But bottom line is the number one thing is that provides you all the guidance on how to make much better decisions, what to look for, how to not get killed by fees. And then the next step is, as we were talking about on the taxation, like how do you think outside the box and how do you minimize the taxes so that you're not putting all the money in but getting killed on the capital gains tax?
Yeah.
It's just the opportunities there. And again, too, this is one of the many benefits of just being in the circle here, in the inner circle, is by being part of this. These are the discussions we're having. This is what we're focusing on. Yes, we're trying to grow our money here too, but it's also how do we manage it? How do we maintain it? And how do we get extremely smart with optimizing the tax code so that we are abiding by every letter of the law while making sure that we keep as much money as possible.
Exactly. We don't want to go afoul of the law, but we definitely want to keep as much as possible legally.
Yep.
And have it grow. That money needs to earn. It needs to be working, right? So, and that's what it comes down to.
Yep.
So, well, listen, guys, we're still in. I can tell you, I'm still in this trade. I am down significantly, but that's all right. I still got a little ways to go. And it's actually it's so funny how it's like, all right, when do you really get in, right? So if you got a good entry, then it's just like buying anything, right? Even though this is a trade rather than a stock per se. But if you got a good entry and you get a good exit, you're good. In this case, we believed that we had a good entry, and long term, I think that entry is good. I think it's moving up. However, short term is not as really short term hasn't been as promising. So I'm just going to ride it out. I'm going to let it turn around and go back up because that's where I think it's going to go, and go from there. So, we'll let you know tomorrow. I'm sorry, not tomorrow. Wednesday, we'll let you know how today's gold trade went, and I'm still betting on the positive there. So, but with that, I think we're all set for today. Remember, this is not financial advice. We're just sharing. We're just going through the stuff and learning by doing. Right? It's not just we're putting real money on the line, and we're learning real lessons, good lessons, and sometimes not some sort of painful lessons. But it's part of life, right? And it's part of learning. So that's it. That's my last piece. Any of you guys have any other closing comments before we close out?
I'll just go real quick. It's again, just if you're not taking action, you're not going to learn.
Yep.
So in situations like that where it's worked for me the majority of the time, and it hasn't worked a couple of times. So I am going to take that calculated risk based on my assessment of the technicals, fundamentals, and risk management. And I'm going to win a lot of times, and I'm going to lose sometimes, and that's okay. It's par for the course. Just make sure your wins are a lot more than your losses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well said. Stephen?
Reminder to people, like when you're looking at the chart right now, 6 months ago, neither of us knew what any of this would mean. And now we do.
Yeah.
That's the important part. And the training we've had, the education we've had, and the person that we follow, Donnie Pips, the trader, his view is you learn the fortitude to push the button and go live. That's the real key.
Yep.
Indeed. All right. Well, thanks, folks. We're going to see you back here on Wednesday morning, bright and early, around 10:15 or so. And you have a fantastic couple of days.